eat until your stomach explodes. Generally, most people stop before then, which is a smart thing to do because you don't want to die.
Yeah, that's not something I'd want to do at a restaurant. But
they just constantly come around with different types of meat, different cuts, different seasonings, and you just eat. You just eat, you eat, you eat. And then occasionally they'll bring around one of the plantains one. So if you know what a plantain is, I didn't know until I moved to Europe. So it's a banana. It's a small little banana. That's actually like kind of caramelized a little bit. It's like deep fried with like honey on it, whatever. And you get to choose. You know, so I'll have some of those little dessert section too.
Yeah, I was gonna say it sounds like a dessert.
Yeah, and it's delicious, it's amazing, and that is definitely something we're gonna be doing if we go to Brazil together.
Well, at least that way we don't have to translate to them exactly what we want. I'll just show the green side like just the entire time.
That is true. That is true. I'm waiting to see what's going on with the lobby because we were supposed to be ready. We were supposed to be dropping into this, but apparently...
I know you're getting super excited.
I think some teams forfeit. Okay, apparently a team forfeited, I'm seeing, if I'm reading this correctly.
We will get a confirmation on that anyway, just to make sure.
Apparently Eanix forfeited, is what I'm seeing, even though they won the first...
I guess we'll find out in a few minutes anyway.
No, we're going to find out right now. I'm going to read the admin screen. It's in Polish.
Well... You know, we have a bit of trouble.
That means bracket. Drabinka. Drabinka means bracket in Polish.
Oh, it could just be the fact that you remember which tab is bracket, so you just...
Well, there's a bracket on the screen. So
yeah, well, there's that as well.
So we'll obviously figure out what's going on. From what I read really quickly, as we saw in Discord with all the players, Eanix forfeited, so maybe not enough players to play today, which is unfortunate, because that's a lot of points. That's actually a lot of, like, you know, a lot of setting yourself apart from the rest of the pack. I don't know. It's so coffee right now.
Feeling so coffee. That's a bit of a...
Feeling so coffee. And not the drinking kind. So I think maybe they've forfeited this one. That's a little unfortunate for them. But that would mean we're going to be one game short. We'll move on to our second game, which would be Simplicity up against Only Nation. No, Impact.
That match is probably the most... I reckon that would be the closest one between those two teams. The other one, I would have said Eanix would have actually potentially taken that. I don't know if they actually have a sub to actually help him through that game to take it further, but it is a shame that if they do forfeit, then that team is, like I mentioned before, one of the strongest NA.
Okay, no, apparently they didn't forfeit. Okay, so people are telling lies, or I don't know. Now we're hopping into a lobby with them.
Are you just making stuff up as you go?
It was literally in Discord. I'm telling you right now, it was there. I don't know what went on.
I can vouch for that. I did see it. I'll agree with him.
Oh, it was an XD. I didn't see the XD. I don't know why you would ever say a team forfeited in a Discord channel with all the players.
He's just trying to
mess someone up, hence me.
He was just trying to be funny.
You know what, Mr. Mamba? Shame on you. Now I talk mad smack this entire game.
Well, if he loses, then actually, yeah, if you're going to predict, you're just going to predict Eanix now, aren't you? Just to
no, I'm going to predict Mr. Mamba's just going to lose. Just him. He's just not going to get a single kill this whole game.
But now that you said that, he's going to top frag every time.
No, not possible.
Oh, is it impossible?
Have you seen him play?
That you said it? Honestly, you say that. It's every time you say something bad about someone, it's I don't believe in karma and all that bits and pieces, but it's just like so much of a coincidence that they just top frag like every time. Who did we do it to last time? Was it Armace? You did it to last time, and then he started top fragging every time?
Nope.
No? That never happened, no?
No. You never top frag. You can't prove it.
Oh, okay. Well, we can because you can watch the VODs back, so.
Okay, go do it.
Well, I'm not going to do it now, am I? I'll just get it on my phone.
All talk.
All talk, but there's hard evidence out there. I'll be on your side this one. Yeah, you know, you can't see it now, so there's no...
Armace did say it. He said, watch me, and then we watched him, and he did terribly.
Yeah.
but the map after, he did a little bit more decent. Okay, so I think we're almost ready. Players have readied up. We're about to hop into this one. Should be any second. I'm sorry we had a waft on there, but we were confused ourselves of what was going on.
Yeah, no, that's understandable. Like, I'll be honest, like when you said it and I looked, I was kind of thinking, wow, they actually have. And I would have, you know, it would have been a bit weird, the strongest team in North America to actually bail out like that. But it looks like we will get underway on Paradise Island here to see exactly who will make it into that final spot now. So you can see now some damage is getting done by one of the members of Only Nation. It's Mamba, believe it or not, who got first strike. I said it before and I'll say it again. Normally every time you give a bit of grief to, that happens now. But it doesn't matter anyway because Alex managed to get a couple more frags on the board here. Are getting the point anyway, but it does get contested by the members of Only Nation here, but it doesn't matter anyway. Alex managed to get that first point on the board. So crucial here. They have taken a little bit of damage, but are trying to get some flanks on the board, so a couple of frags do go in the favour of Only Nation here, but doesn't matter too much because Goku and Thanos managed to take one for themselves. Swagger managed to get a nice little trade here, but so far so good in terms of the objective for Eanix here.
Shame that Eanix isn't playing up against Unbreakable, because then we could have Jiren up against Goku. We know how that one turned out, right? If you're a Dragon Ball fan. Anyways, that's beside the point. As we do have Only Nation looking to take the point back themselves. It's going to be Colin only by himself, but it doesn't matter. The backup's going to be their Swagger strutting his stuff as he walks into the point. A will be turned to their side towards the colors, and they should be able to take the lead here in just a few seconds.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time now. Swagger did get a nice go on Optimus, but Goku again, this trade potential here in the gun skill's so strong now going into this, but it does get taken down anyway. And look at this, Optimus just rushing on spawn to try and catch up with the rest of the pack to see if he can actually help the team out, which he does do now. Gives them great support here. Thanos takes out one to try and take out another, but that's not the case here. So that's 3 on board now for Only Nation. Managed to get a 4th one down. That's all 4 down. Colin gets a double there to clean things up, and now Alex is going to struggle a little bit here as they manage to get the point.
I feel like I should relate to J Master just because he's got a great first letter of his name, and I'm a master as well at what I do, and being bad at games.
Okay, at least you said that about yourself.
Oh yeah, good old Thanos talking about balance, and you haven't seen Infinity Wars, so I can't make any good jokes revolving around that.
Yeah, I don't watch stuff like that, so you know it's not my cup of tea.
I bet you the guy who just watches documentaries.
Well, you think I'm that kind of guy?
Documentaries on how clothes hangers are made. And you're just like, oh, this is going to be a good Friday night. Honey, get the popcorn. You're going to learn about clothes hangers.
Funny enough, I'm not one of those people. Like, you know, some people try and get me into documentaries, and I'm just like, nah.
How is tape made? Oh, honey! We're going to marathon tonight. Sorry. 741 to 630 so far. Eanix is going to be keeping the lead, which we kind of expect considering they did place first last week in their cup. They're currently #1 in the standings. And you saw Merciless right there, which is kind of what we're seeing them turn out to be here as that lead is starting to grow.
Yeah, it is exponentially now. When they get that point back on the board now, they are increasing at least slowly but surely now. But Swagger, see if he can get some snipes on board whilst wait for his teammates to spawn, because 2 of his teammates have been taken down, but he decided to wait a little bit. Try and go for that flank now. I think Optus pushed him quite far there and managed to get one anyway before he got taken down. Jay must get one of his own. Mamba must get the trade, but so there's going to be 1v1 to try and get that hill, and it looks like Baba will be able to get that one now, and is still trying to get the point on board, but will contest it.
He got dropped, so he actually lost the contestant of it. It doesn't seem to really matter anymore, because as long as Eanix just keep getting these eliminations, I think they're eventually going to come out with the victory here on this first map of the series. Also, the follow-up to that second documentary was, documentary number 3 was Watching Grass Grow in Real Time.
Oh, that sounds...
Honey, it's my favorite one! It's on!
Do you know what? I reckon you're the sort of guy who would be fascinated by paint drying.
You know what? There is something satisfying about watching a nice coat of paint being applied to a fantastic wall.
Nah. Absolutely.
Nah.
Absolutely.
Nah. All right, so the first map is done for Eanix. We're going to be heading over to Old Factory, some TDM for them, and see if they can maintain what they've started and pull off potentially a 2-0 victory here. But again, that's kind of how we expect things to go. And the way North America seems to have been played as of late is just, you know, kind of standard, consistent results and consistent, you know, score lines. Or EU is more volatile, I guess we could say.
Yeah, I think volatile is a good way to say it here. And as you can see now, with Goku, with those 20 frag contribution there, 250 score as well. Managed to do a lot of work there, but Bamba there managed to get 17 of his own. Managed to do quite a lot of work, but it wasn't enough to take Only Nation into that game #1. But so far, Eanix, they've been doing a good job to start off with. Like you mentioned before, it was expected. They are one of the strongest NA teams we've had from the previous season and this season, and it seems like there's no holding back so far.
Yeah, and I kind of want to see that, you know? I want to see consistent teams playing well. I mean, it's nice to see new teams rise up, but when a region is just basically you don't know who's going to win this cup and it just keeps constantly changing around, yeah, the upside is, yeah, no one's the top dog and it doesn't really stagnate in terms of who's the best team, but you like to see that best team maintain that position and maintain that dominance within a region. Think of, you know, Astralis when it comes to Counter-Strike being the best team in the world for over a year now. I want to see that as well when it comes to Guns of Boom. I want to see those teams be able to maintain that kind of, you know, kind of leadership and standing within the region, and then have the best regions clash up against each other, like coming up in Texas in just a few weeks.
Well, this is it. Well, Lazarus actually were that kind of team, you know. They won the first Invitational, they won the Season 1 finals, and then finally they got put down by Noble by a huge scoreline. So we did see a glimpse of that at one stage, but I think it's going to take a couple seasons for a team to actually be able to dominate that much. It's going to take a while, but that's what's so good about this game anyway. It's just due to the fact that, you know, it's always going to be hit and miss. It's always going to be 50-50 in a lot of situations, depending on how high the skill ceiling is on this game. And look at that, though. Every person with the Avalanche, and we saw earlier, only one person had the Incinerator, and I think that was Thanos, and that's why we didn't see him push up too much. But like I said, the hill was so open, it's a good reason why he would sit back and just do all the damage.
You know why they're using Avalanches, right?
Why is that?
Because you can just snowball yourself to a victory.
I saw that coming. I saw that coming by an absolute mile off. What are you like? What are you like?
What does that mean?
Like, what are you like? Like, what on earth are you doing? What are you saying?
I just told you.
Yeah, I know, but it's just like, yeah, it was just...
I feel like you don't appreciate me enough.
I appreciate you. Just, yeah, I've got nothing to say about that.
I appreciate you, but I have no reason to, or no way to like back up why I appreciate you.
Yeah, basically.
Thanks, man.
That's, well, you know, I do my best to, well, I try and appreciate as much as I can, but, you know, there's only so much I can appreciate. But going to this map number 2 here, yeah, I'm an honest guy. I'm an honest Joe, so. I'm an honest Joe.
Honest Harry.
Honest Harry, yeah.
Alliteration.
Yeah.
Is key, just like getting these kills, like Colin just got 2 of them on the board, and able to get the lead here now for LA Nation, as they are only 1 map away from being knocked into the 3rd place match.
That is right, yes. So you've got Oli Nation now. They need to win this to at least try and equalise and try and avoid that 3rd place playoff. They've had a good start anyway, being in the top 4, but top 2 will make it very tasty for them. But looking at this now, it is still a tied game. Some damage has been done on the Oli Nation side, so they might get traded off straight afterwards, but that's not the case anyway, because 2 for Oli Nation there, 3rd one from Swagger now. And there's only 1 member left standing. Finally gets taken down. So that's all 4 down for Eanix in. Only Nation in a great spot for map control, and just need to prepare for this next wave of spawns.
Seem like they're handling themselves a lot better when it comes to TDM versus King of the Hill. Alan Thanos has something to say about that. Gets caught, actually, I think, with not enough bullets left in his gun. Goes for the nade instead, and that just cost him his life. But there's going to be backup for his team to help him out. And now that difference is just down to 6 lonely points here between these 2 teams. 3:30 left on the clock. And I'm not really sure if we're actually going to see this come down to points with how kind of passive both these teams are playing now.
Yeah, we've seen a massive mix of player styles. So we saw both teams being extremely aggressive to fight for that map control now. But now that it's been such a struggle, they're kind of like sitting back a little bit here. But Colin there with a nice double limb to finish things up anyway. Nice clean wipe from Oli Nation as well. Extending these just that little bit further now. But now that they've taken a little bit of damage, they need to be a little bit more patient. Try and get those first shots in when Eanix do try and push round. But look at this now. Nice double team. Both of guys at Oli Nation here, but it doesn't matter. J-Mask is one of his own. Each one of them managed to get a trade, and that's all 4 down for Oli Nation now. So Eanix needs to be a little bit careful where they're positioned and how they're actually going to catch up the angles. But with some snipes here and there, and some damage done with their ARs, especially with the Odin, they should be okay.
Oh, gets caught with the assault rifle outside the shotgun. Mr. Mamba will claim another elimination for himself. All tied up in score, though, 259 to 259. And this sort of things are really going to get a little bit rough for both teams, as Colin's going to get the elimination on Goku, so that's going to allow them to take the lead. And not to mention, Colin gets a 2nd before he's shut down. And just like that, that's a 3-point lead here, as that's going to continue to grow for Eanix as they get a nice little frag there with Optimus. Yeah, Optimus managed to get that double there, but he's so weak right now. He needs to make sure to sit back and let one of his teammates go in front of him so he can continue to do a bit more damage. But with that rocket there, Swagger, great stuff from him. Gets traded out by Fantasy and with that Incinerator. Pulls back a little bit more, but it's too late for him as Colin gets the trade, gets a double of his own, and Trademaster trades off with Colin's trade afterwards. Well, you can just see consistently between these teams, there's just always that flanker that comes in and cleans up those final frags. Doesn't matter what team it's going to be, but it's just like consistently both teams will get wiped out, or one team will get fully wiped out. Then the respawns will come back through and there'll be a next wave of attack. It's kind of like a horde game. I don't know, like wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, and just kind of alternates between the 2 teams. But so far it's alternating in favor of Eanix, as they do have a lead. Not a big lead, but still a lead nonetheless. You can see them backing away too. With 1 minute and 20 left to go, they could play the clock.
Yeah, still got a little bit of time to play with. I don't need to be too aggressive here, depending on the scenario they're in. But right now, you see that both teams, but as soon as they manage to clean the first wave, they'll sit back with snipes and the AR and just try and get as much damage done as they can before they get taken down. And that's why when they respawn, they can clean up here. But it's a tight game at the moment, 4-3-7, 4-3-7. But as I say that, Eanix there managed to clean things up there. Somehow, like some way, managed to get all 4 down for them in the end. But I don't normally say this, but look at this now. Even though Thanos had 4 frags, he managed to get 13 assists. And that's, like I said, with the good thing about the Incinerator as well is getting so much damage down with the burn effect and just sitting back and trying to do exactly what he can. And 13 assists, that's some pretty good stuff.
He likes to balance out his team, you know, because the top half had a lot of kills. He had a lot of the limbs, you know, balance and everything.
Yeah, that's what we like to see, really.
Killing me, dude. You're killing me.
You're killing me. I think you're killing yourself.
Give me someone who's seen Infinity War as I lose my pen under the table. Because Thanos, I don't want to give you spoiler there, but he kills off 50% of the population in the universe. Balance, 50%.
That's good. I've not watched it, so...
Someone save me, please. Production, have you seen Infinity War? Thumbs up. One guy, and I don't want to mention his name. Okay, 2 guys. All right, so yeah, some people have seen it. 2 out of the 4. Balance and everything. So let's take a look at who were the top players for both these 2 teams. You can see J Master at 191, Colin at 186. But not really much of a difference when it comes to those eliminations, though. Just 1, same assist, and that's a difference of 2. So really close kind of game there, even though it did go the way of Eanix.
Yeah, that's why we saw a lot of stuff on Colin there. He managed to get a lot of doubles there to try and clean up after the next wave again and again. He did it at least 3 times round. Nice +4 from him. Wasn't enough, sadly, that was the case. But Only Nation had the lead the entire time. But, you know, Eanix were just able to manage to get enough damage done after each wave. So, yeah, managed to, you know, push the boundaries as much as they can. Made every death as vital as possible and just made it just a lot harder for Only Nation to clean up.
All right, well, you know what we're going to have to do? We're going to have to head to a break. When we come back, we're going into Simplicity up against Impact Gaming. We have Impact has already made their way through into the event in Texas. Let's see if they can make their way through into the finals, and we'll see you after a short break. Welcome back, everyone, to Season 2 of the Guns of Boom Challenger Series. We break into a little bit further, take another bite into the chicken strip that is North America and get underway with our second match of the day or night, depending on where you're from, as we are almost ready to get Simplicity up against Impact. Good to go.
Yeah, this is going to be a close affair, to say the least. I said it before, like, you know, that first match was a little bit one-sided and a bit of a shame, really.
It was a close one-sided game. The second map was definitely, the second map was definitely close.
Oh, yeah. The first one wasn't. The second one, I completely agree with. Yeah, they could have gone either way, but at the end of the day, you know, Eanix managed to take that way anyway. So we're going to see the two teams here between Simplicity and Impact Gaming. And Impact Gaming are very strong. We've seen how well they've been doing last series, and this series now we'll be seeing if they'll actually be able to match up against Eanix in the finals.
Well, then they have to get through the finals, right?
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I just made a mistake there. Nice. But you know what I mean anyway. It's going to be a good one between these two teams. With Impact Gaming, we know what they're like. You know, how they strong they are.
That's not fair. You're looking at me on the monitor.
Yeah, I know. I just looked. I was like, no.
People don't know. We actually have a camera right above a screen so we can see what you see, so we know what's on camera. And I was shaking my head. He was just looking at me.
Yeah.
Just be honest, just looking at himself on camera.
No. Who do you think I am?
I know exactly who you are.
I know. It's I feel
You're
sorry
Harry.
for you. Yes, I am. Yes, it's Harry, not Harry. I don't know why.
Harry.
Why do Americans?
Harry.
Harry. Why do Americans say it like that?
It's an A sound. Harry.
No, it's not. It's Harry. Harry.
Okay, we're done. We're done.
Yeah, that's enough, I think. And looking at it now, straight off the bat, Impact Gaming. Nice little lead from them, and they've got the hill as well on top of that, as well as some of the frags. But Kitty Monster managed to get 2 of his own here, so they could get a point back quite quick here, depending if they get contested or not, which they do. Triple elimination from Venom there, and it's all going a little bit downhill as the entire team of Simplicity have been taken down.
Good old Elmo, though, does take down Corrupt. But that is a very one-sided scoreline so far. 307 to 101. Scruffy getting caught in spawn here quite a bit. Stavy, though. Stavy or Stavy?
Stavy, I'd say. It's like Davy, Stavy.
See, then we just reversed it.
Yeah.
Harry with the AY.
It's different.
It's the same.
The A's the third letter. It makes a difference.
What does the position of the letter have to do with the sound it makes?
It makes a lot of difference. Because if it was Starvy, it would be S-T-A-R-V-Y.
Then why is it not Gravy?
It's just British, man. You don't get it. It's fine.
Okay, so I don't know why Simplicity all left. It wasn't over. I mean, technically it was over. 432 to 147, so they kind of just dropped out when realizing, all right, well, we're not going to have a chance to get back into this one.
They just got fed up of us.
Apparently a player didn't have a gun.
Oh, well, you kind of need one of those to to play with.
So maybe that's why they were so far behind. So we're maybe getting a remake there. I'm not sure. Wait for the admin's decision as I stare to the Discord and see what he's going to write.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Jason is amazing. He deserves a raise. Wow, why did the admin...
Wow, that's actually pretty incredible because it should be the complete opposite, but, you know.
Lethal deserves a pay cut? What?
What's that?
That is technically the opposite, right?
What's that? You should be demoted? But yeah, we are going to go back into it soon enough. I think they're just going to, like, obviously, Stavy. See, it's not Starvy because it will have an R in it. We'll add a bit.
It has an R in it?
It has an R in it, yeah. R.
Stavy. Stavy.
It'd be Starvy.
Stavy.
Starvy. Yeah, it'd be Starvy. But then again,
then why'd you say it was Stavy?
It's not. It's no. It's
and you guys invented the language.
It's Starvy if there's an R in it. Yeah, I invented. Well, not
you
me
invented
personally.
It?
Yeah, I invented the language. Yeah.
No wonder it's so poor.
Okay, we don't speak. You don't hear Americans speaking American, do you? They speak English, so. Yeah, you do speak the same as us. It's just the old twang of the accents a little bit. So that's why you say Starvy and I say Stavy. And I say Harry, you say
And you say
Harry.
aluminium and I say aluminum. Even though everyone is going towards aluminum.
It's aluminium.
Even scientists are going towards aluminum, not aluminium.
Scientists are wrong.
Yeah, they're wrong.
They may be able to work out all the equations, all that bits and pieces, but it's pronounced aluminium.
Oh, wow. Okay, so King Venom, just to update you guys on this because you don't want to hear us talk about how to pronunciate things. Apparently, the rules are saying that points have been scored, resets cannot be done. And they ran into Stavy, and he had a gun. So I don't know. Now I just lost the, there we go.
I suppose we'll find out soon.
First life he had it, and then when he respawned, he didn't.
Oh, that's big. Well, it's going to take a few minutes only to decide exactly.
We're going to head to a break.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna head to. Okay. We're gonna go to a break while we do sort this out because we don't know what's going on, and there's no point for us to waft on about a decision that has yet to be made. So hopefully we can head to that in a few moments' time to give production a chance to get ready for this one. So yeah, we're not sure. I think that he said after the first respawn he didn't have it. He said he took screenshots. The nicest thing to do to be cordial to everyone is just to replay it out anyways.
Yeah,
if you're confident you're the better team, then you can do it on the second try. But we'll let the admin sort it out, and we'll figure out what's going on. We'll head to that short break. When we come back, we'll be doing the continuation here of our second semifinal. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We have sorted through all the issues, and there will be a rematch on the same map here. So trying to get both teams to play on equal footing, just remaking the lobby right now. Lethal, are we going to see a different result?
I'm not too sure. You know, Panos Island can be a little bit of a weird one here, but if we do see a different result, then, you know, it's going to demoralise Impact Gaming just a little bit, but because they did have a decent lead, but we don't know the full ins and outs. And exactly
we don't know how long they were like 3v4 for.
Yeah, this is it. You know, it could have been right at the very beginning. It could have been towards the end. We don't really know.
I mean, they're lucky
they weren't. They're
lucky they weren't playing with us, because then it would have been 2v4, because we would have been dead weight.
or it could have been 4v2, because we'd be the ones helping out a lot more.
Do you remember how bad we are at games now?
Yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot about the whole age factor thing, you know, reaction speed completely down the toilet.
We're young. We're hip.
Okay.
I mean, we're young compared to like 90-year-olds.
That's true. Well, I'd probably say we're in the purgatory stage of esports.
We're at the 30s, like the new 20.
Are we going to say that when we're 40, 40 is the new 20? I mean, the 50's the new 20.
When I'm 50, I will still 100% laugh at my own farts. Guaranteed. Never will not be funny to me, because my heart is always going to be really young.
So you're always going to be immature?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. 100%.
I'll jump on the bandwagon on that, because
I get that from my dad. I get that from my dad. He posts dad jokes to my sister every day on Facebook.
What about you?
No. He doesn't love me enough. No,
oh,
I'm kidding. It's because it was a gift to him from her.
Your dad's probably watching now, and he's gonna.
No, he's not.
You.
No, he's not.
No. Oh, okay.
I guarantee he's not. He's probably watching some good old American football.
Football. Well, actually, I thought you said so. You still say football when it's American football, but you just say football. Oh, so you just say American football now when it's.
I'm saying American
NFL.
Football because we're in Europe right now.
Oh, okay. That's what I mean.
I still would call it football.
Oh, okay.
But when I'm in Europe, I call it American football.
Yeah, I thought. Yeah, I was going to say, because it's a bit weird someone American saying American football. Do you know?
I will agree. It is definitely not football, because you play it most of the time in your hands. You don't really use your foot often in it. Use your feet to run.
You know, rugby's better though.
I've seen some really disgusting injuries in rugby. You know what? I haven't seen anything disgusting in just yet, because we have a remake. Is our first map of our second game. So let's see if this time Stavy will have a weapon.
Do you know, he'll probably say it's not actually Stavy or Stavy. We'll have to ask him anyway, but...
It's like a silent A.
Yeah, it's like... Stevie. But look at this now. After what happened, we saw Impact Gaming with a great start to begin with, but Simplicity now, you know, getting the points on the board, but we saw Impact Gaming take 3 down there, managed to get the point back, a double from Aerial you saw towards the end, so it looks like they'll be overtaking Simplicity sooner than later, but Kitty Monster and Elmo managed to get a rocket of their own, managed to trade out those frag sets. That's 3 down now for Impact Gaming. This is a great opportunity for them to get that point back.
Okay, nice little 2v1 there. Gives them the opportunity to take the point. You can see, though, it's turning back towards Stavy. He's eventually going to be finished off with Imagine, but Scruffy comes in, gets the shot off. Aerial going to get the return frag, though. It looks like it will be going the way of blue here. So that lead that we did have here for Simplicity should eventually be turned around on, as we now have a 2-point lead here for Impact, and it's looking to grow further like a finely watered plant.
What a lovely analogy that was. Well, it's better than your jokes anyway, but looking at this now, Aerial trying to keep him off the point as much as he can, even though he doesn't contest it, managed to eliminate him anyway, but he's over Elmo must get a double of his own. We'll be getting that back quite comfortably as well, but just need to be a little bit careful now. I was going to say it's a bit too open there, but managed to get some frags on the board with some help with his teammates anyway, but Kitty Monster managed to take down Corrupt and keep hold of that hill still, but it's just a matter of whether Aerial can do enough damage while his teammates spawn, which he won't be going to happen. But he could just spiral out of control a little bit, and this Impact Gaming managed to come back here, which they do now anyway, and contest that point.
By the way, Stavy, just up until just recently was #1 on score. His team is actually back to #1 at 139. Now #2 as Kitty Monsters chimes in. So, you know, imagine what he can do with the real weapon. You know, if he didn't have him in the last one.
A weapon, yeah.
And now he's doing really well here. Second score for his team, 584 to 566. Lead still barely in their favor, but we do see Impact now fighting back here, starting to get the control as we saw in the last game.
That's fine now, Impact. Taking the lead now, Gadgets gets a nice kill for himself, but they do contest the point, but there's only 1 member of Simplicity in there, and there was 3 members of Impact Gaming just waiting for him pretty much, but the amount of distraction that one member caused now managed to get the other 3 taken down. Aerial's really weak, needs to pull back just a little bit more before he's taken down, but still managed to stay alive. Finally gets taken down by Scruffy there. Scruffy gets a double of his own now, and this is a good chance for him to get the point, but it's not the case as Stavey managed to take him down with that snipe.
Really good play by Aerial. I mean, he backs off when he's in like a 1v3, gets explosive damage in, gets 1 kill himself. The backup comes from his team. They're able to maintain control that point for a little bit longer. Though eventually it will be turned over to Simplicities. They're now just trying to push their spawn here. Scruffy gonna eventually gather some back away, and it's just gonna be all pretty much by himself. Venom here to hold on to the point, which he will get the elimination, and he will get the turn on in a moment's time, I would imagine, as Gentrix is gonna come in, and now it's gonna be 900 points to 840. A little bit left to go here, and we could see Impact get that first map win.
It seems that could be the case now, and Impact Gaming to do the best they can just to keep on spawn as much as possible. But I don't really need to do too much on this. Keep that hill and just bait the hill as much as they can until the end of the point's over, which it has done anyway. And it's basically the similar scenario as we saw in the first game last time round before that rematch. And Impact Gaming with that first win on the board with some interesting stats there.
Yeah, 12 eliminations for Gentrix, 9 for Corrupt, 8 for Venom, even though he's second place on points, showing he really forced... Sorry, that's that smile and nodding when I was talking about it. When he just really forced the fights on the objective, so able to get the captures and get the victory under their belt. They still have 1 more map to go to close it out and to play up in the finals, which won't be an easy feat at all.
No, it won't be at all. Not really sure what to say about that. Simplicity, they did do a really good job. I think they did get a decent amount of frags there, but just didn't capitalize with your objective. It's annoying really where you do get some decent frags on the ball, but if you don't get it all at the same time, then because sometimes when you have to get the hill, you have to get at least 3 down minimum. Sometimes it can be 2 down depending on the circumstances, but depending on position of your opponents. But either way, Impact Gaming's objective play was very good, as you can see with Gentrix.
Do you think Gentrix has a YouTube channel?
No, I don't reckon he does.
If he did, what do you think it would be?
TrixGen. What do you think?
It's literally in his name, Gentrix.
Yeah, I know. I just thought I'd try and be funny, but...
It's, you know what? You don't need to... Whatever you say doesn't matter, because you don't need to be funny vocally, because you look funny.
Oh, I think that's the main thing. It's like, when I say a joke, I'll laugh at my own joke, but then they laugh at my laugh. So I'm like, oh, I am a little bit funny.
Are they laughing? Well, they're not laughing with you. They're laughing at you.
Yeah,
a little bit of
but either way, they're laughing. That's the main thing. Okay, no, it's not the main thing. But looking at what they can see now, everyone's using Yoden, apart from Elmo, who was sitting back quite a lot with the Incinerator. And pretty much the same lineup of weaponry, to be fair.
I mean, that's kind of the story against a Boom. We don't really see anything drastically different ever. Which is kind of the appeal. You know, the fact is those are the best weapons for the best maps, so there's a reason they're being used. So you're not really ever going to see, I think, that. And I think that's kind of expected, you know? If you want to be the best player, you have to use the min-max in any way possible. And obviously use the best weapons at the right places and the right maps. And that's part of being one of the best players in the game. So we are getting our next map ready to go. Should be hopping in just a second as both teams have readied up. Going to be going over to Old Factory. A little bit of TDM. We're going to find out if it's going to that 3rd map or if we'll be done here in 2. Then move into our 3rd place match.
Yeah, we'll have to see what Simplicity can actually do here. With that first map, you sometimes see that when it's a reset, it normally goes to the opposite team. It happens quite often. Actually, I wouldn't say quite often. It's very often it happens, but it seems to change a little bit differently there as Impact Gaming still managed to take that first map on board. But Simplicity were very, very aggressive coming out the gates there to see if they can push around, but that didn't really help too much because Impact Gaming had the top mid side anyway. Gentrix with a double there, trying to look for that triple, but wasn't the case anyway. Elmo managed to take him down. And so far, a good start for Simplicity, but we'll have to see where they can take it from there.
They're going for that early high ground of Impact. Completely got caught off guard by Simplicity from the low ground, but eventually they're able to maintain a lead, albeit just 2 points. But it is a lead nonetheless. This Kitty Monster is going to equalize things at 70 apiece now. To talk about evenly matched teams, well, an evenly matched game here between these two.
That's right, you saw Gentrix early, you know, got a double, almost got the triple, but sadly managed to get taken down, but did a lot of damage before that happened anyway. Everyone makes a good trade. So good bait and switching from these players here, and sadly, as one pushed in, he got naded straight out the gate there. Only 2 points between these two teams. Still plenty of time to make something happen, make something work, but some interesting strategies here. You've got a lot of them from the low ground, but it seems like Simplicity is so eager to group up and flank round, but there's not really been benefiting them that much. It seems like Impact Game have been expecting it quite often.
A little bit of a knife battle there. There wasn't much shooting going on, more of a, you know, shanks going on between the two teams with the last remaining players. The lead is still favoring Simplicity, but then again, the lead was going their way on our last map, Paradise Island. But that was turned around on by Impact as they are leading 1-0. See Gentrix here. Might have a YouTube channel. We're guessing he has one. He might.
He might do.
I think he does.
No, we'll have to have a look.
But we're not going to know any longer as he does get dropped here. That's all in Ariel's. The respawn's going to be coming back in. And it looks like Simplicity haven't been able to get the control here. You can see Ariel just gets completely flanked on. Quickly eliminated by Scruffy.
Yeah, Scruffy did pretty well there, and Stavey managed to get one of his own as well. Like, Simplicity seems to be more eager on getting the flanks, like grouping up and getting those flanks around, rather than some Impact Gaming, where they're more worried about the map control, the height advantage, and trying to catch him off guard from there. And I feel like it should be in favour of Impact Gaming, because if you go for those flanks and it doesn't work out too well, the entire team can get taken down and you won't take too much damage. But it didn't work too much at the start of the game, but Simplicity is slowly making it work now. You know, I think Impact Gaming are trying to counter it by trying to be as aggressive as them, but it's not helping too much. But Simplicity doing a good job now, holding that lead, and we'll see if they can either increase it, or maybe Impact Gaming can actually capitalise and try and equalise the scoreline a bit.
There you go. You see right there, Gentrix getting caught with his sniper out instead of his shotgun. He got completely ran over. That's what we talked about before, of having the right weapon for the right situation. He was looking for the long angle, but unfortunately, he didn't expect the player to come around the corner, swinging wide with the shotgun. Now Venom gonna miss the knife there. As Kitty Monster's gonna be on a streak. Commentator's curse comes through. He gets completely blown up. There's gonna be cats all against the walls, different pieces. As the score, that was a little grim. As the score lead will be closed on, the Simplicity still maintained.
Yeah, that was pretty surprising. You see Scruffy there trying to take out the guy top mid, so important. But Uno gets taken down, he's done quite a lot of damage, so hopefully someone can sort him out from there after. But looking at now, Simplicity, not too far from a win. Just 2 more frags should hopefully be able to do it, depending on the situation. But it seems like Simplicity have gone from playing very aggressive to playing very passive now, waiting for Impact Gaming to make the first mistake. But so far, the Key Monster managed to get just one more needed for Simplicity to tie things up here. And we're going to see if they can actually be able to do that now. It's so close. Some players are so weak now at that stage, but Impact Gaming do manage to do one. But in the end, Stavey managed to clean things up, get that final kill, and now tie things up 1-1.
All right, yeah, so going to that third map. Kitty Monster with 12 kills. 5 for Stavey, 9 for Scruffy, and then you had Corrupted this side with 10. And 2 players with Venom and Arrow at 5 apiece. It's a really close match again. You know, we saw Impact with a interesting start, sending players high ground, expecting the aggressive play to come in, and it did happen. But unfortunately, when it came down to hitting those shots, Impact was just not able to do so, and Simplicity just got the overrun there. Got the lead for the majority of that map, and then obviously got things tied up now at 1 apiece.
Yeah, it's like I said before, you know, with some TDMs, it can change things up a little bit. I think there was like I mentioned before, halfway through the series, it's 2 completely different playstyles. Like Simplicity were looking to go very aggressive just from the get-go, just try and get those snowball flanks around as much as they can. And Impact Gaming, you know, they're just trying to play a little bit more strategically, but that map is quite small. It's quite difficult to contain it if you've got players like that pushing in so quick, so fast. And I'll say they were doing it halfway through the match. They did it from the get-go. They were so, you know, going through the gate so quickly, so aggressively, and they kept up throughout the entire game. They did get caught off guard quite a few times, but didn't affect them too much as Simplicity. It worked for them towards that second half of the game.
All right, so we should be moving into our third and final map, going over to Europe Square here. A little bit of control point. Didn't really even have the third map actually in the European tournament. I don't think we didn't have it in the first match of NA. So one of our closer matches that we've had now so far today. I'm curious to see if the finals will be going that route as well, or maybe the third place match as well, as Only Nation going to be waiting there, you know, for their opponent in a little bit of due time, in about 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens. You know, every map has been quite close between all these teams, which not too much of a surprise. I even said before this match started that it is going to be a close affair. And between these two teams, it's very, very close. I normally would expect Impact Gaming to come out on top on this, but Simplicity have made, seems like, a lot of improvements over the last couple of weeks, and it's really showing depending on the situation. And looking at it now, you've got a couple more incinerators for Venom and Ariel, and that makes perfect sense because I did say before they seem a little bit more contained, letting them push first, playing a little bit more strategically, and then letting them push a lot more, which is why it explains the weaponry looking at the screen there.
Venom and Ariel were bottom fragging too, so kind of relating to that weapon choice for them a little bit, unfortunately. Again, we saw like a Gentrix get overrun, like having the wrong weapon at the wrong time. Maybe they just weren't expecting that aggressive style. You mentioned that Simplicity was running. Maybe they weren't expecting him to come flying around corners to catch them completely off guard. We should be getting away here in a second with our next map. Just making sure everything is okay and ready to go. Players are ready to start. We'll be hopping into this in just a second. So, Lethal, prediction game, go. 2 words or less.
Impact Gaming.
Impact game.
That's syllables.
That's 3 words, though.
Impact Gaming.
Yeah, you said,
Does that really count?
Yeah.
It's not really classed as a word, though. Not really.
Okay, Mr. Aluminium and caramel. And color with a U.
It is aluminium. You know that, don't you?
It's not. You go look it up. It is also aluminum, and generally people are leaning towards aluminum, even in the scientific field, because aluminium makes no sense. Not even kidding. That's like the reasoning.
I'm going to pretend I didn't hear that. But oh my, just to start off the bat, straight away, Gentrix there got all 4 team members down all at once with a streak on top of that as well. And for Europe Square, you couldn't ask for a better start, but it's weird now. They haven't really got much of the objective done. They haven't really got many of the points on the board, as you saw from there. And Simplicity still managed to come back from that. That's a little bit worrying.
Yeah, I mean, those 3 eliminations are big, but the thing is, if you're all focused around that one point, right, then you don't actually capture the other points. It's not like you're really building up much of a lead from it. And speaking of leads, actually Simplicity going to be the ones with the lead themselves by about 30 points. You see constantly these points being turned over. B should be going the way of the blue side of Impact. They will have 2 for, actually they have a triple cap here, so they should be getting a lot of points if they can maintain this, though. Elmo able to fight his way off of Sesame Street to take down Corrupt and take the point back.
It's so hard to get a triple cap in that scenario, but somehow Impact Gaming managed to actually do that now. They're trying to hold it as much as they can. A nice double by Gentrix again. He's going absolutely crazy in this game, and Corrupt get one for himself. And Simplicity are really struggling here. Impact Gaming can easily extend their lead if they're not too careful.
Oh, nice little frag there out of Stavey. B is going to be turned over, but should be back in the hands of Impact. As you can see, him just overwhelming the defenders. C is still not really being, well, it's being captured, but it hasn't been locked down until just now. In the meantime, you saw the Impact were constantly building up points because they had A in their hands, and they have B. And we're going to see the push come back in eventually. It's going to be a triple here for the side of Simplicity. So they will get B back, but they might lose out on C. I was actually wondering if they might lose out on it. You just saw them actually lose control for a little bit of time. But now Elmo's going to be able to run. And all this time, and that 3-man push coming in, or that 3 frag lead they did have pushing in towards B just means nothing, because Impact take it back on their own hands.
Yeah, Gentrix with another double there. All 4 down again for Simplicity. It looks so good for Simplicity at one stage. Managed to get 3 down and slowly getting the objectives back, but Venom was causing some major issues for them, was contesting the points, making sure they couldn't get full control. And look at it now, it's becoming quite close at this stage. Kimoso must get a double of his own as well, but it could be a little bit too late. It's close to a miracle now, considering the point gap, 300 with only 250 remaining. It's going to be extremely close, but Corrupt with another double now. It's looking pretty bleak on the side of Simplicity.
I think bleak is definitely a good word here, as the sun seems to be setting here on Europe Square, and also on the hopes of Simplicity making it through to a minimum of a 2nd place finish yet again, as they finished 2nd in the last cup. But unfortunately for them, I don't think they're going to have a chance here, as Impact has definitely made an impact in this match. That was late here. It's getting late here.
Yeah. Well,
had a lot of better ones earlier. You can't deny that. And you can't deny the victory here for Impact Gaming.
That's one thing. No, that is one thing I can't deny there. With Impact Gaming, managed to walk away with that very comfortably by 448 points there. Very dominating, especially on a map like Europe Square, because it is quite difficult to get some of that map control so easily. But that 4 at once with Gentrix right at the beginning and then getting so many doubles just getting carried away, it was so hard for Simplicity to even try and get anywhere. Even with some of the frags on the board, there wasn't really much objective being played, because you got players like, you always get one member left on the side of Impact Gaming, just causing issues, contesting, just being a complete nuisance to slow him down getting that objective.
I do want to point something out. Gentrix, he had about 200 points for a majority of the time. Like, he kind of like stagnated. But the thing is, like, the damage he did, the impact he made was enough that other players could start to step up too, because he seriously had like 200 for like at least the last, like, I want to say minute of time, and didn't get much more off of that. But he was absolutely dominating in the beginning and really put the pressure on Simplicity to try to respond. You can see Elmo 137 compared to 226. I mean, it's not bad, but if that's your best player against their best player and they had multiple people on 200 points plus, then obviously it's not going to work out well for you.
Yeah, I thought it would have been more simplistic. His map just due to the fact that how aggressive they were on that last TDM. If they showed the same aggression, things could have changed a little bit more. I think their coordination was just a little bit off, and sometimes they were kind of not just on their own, but just a tiny bit too separated. So it's a bit of a struggle for their teammates to help him as quick as they'd like to with some of the support plays they normally make. They seem to be better on those smaller maps, which you saw earlier on that old factory. But going back to the thing, you know, with the weaponry, the only difference was that Ariel had that incinerator. You saw him sitting back a little bit, doing the damage as much as he can. But you normally see the Odin quite, you know, used quite a lot on a map like this anyway, depending on circumstances. And then just everyone with a scout. And it just shows that how aggressive both of these teams want to be.
Yeah, just, you know, balls to the wall, fight it out constantly between the two. But as we saw, Impact coming out completely the victors by almost 500 points. One of the biggest leads we've seen over the course of the last, 3 weeks now. We've been bringing you all the Guns of Boom action, but we are going to have to head to a break here before we get ready for our third place match, and of course our grand final for today as well in just a few minutes time. So we'll be back after this break with a third place match and then move on into the finals after. Welcome back, everyone, to the Season 2 Guns of Boom Challenger Series. Now we have to have a serious moment here, and I have to, unfortunately, apologize for lying to you on air. I told you when we come back from the break, we'll be heading to our third-place match in the grand final match. But unfortunately, there will be no third-place match. Simplicity has forfeited, saying they have other things to do. That wasn't the exact wording. I don't think I'm allowed to use the exact wording. But they will not be playing. So Only Nation can be taking third place, Simplicity fourth. And we're moving into the finals instead now, as we're going to get ready for this match. And it's going to be an interesting one. Eanix up against Impact Gaming. Both had some convincing wins, though Eanix definitely had the more convincing of the two up against Only Nation. But that was Seed 1 versus Seed 4, and that was Seed 2 versus Seed 3. This is 1 and 4, apparently, and this is numbers. So we're moving straight into that match. It'll be a best of 5, and then the winner obviously does take home first place. And we're going to find out if Eanix can take home another first place finish yet again. And Impact, who finished third place in the first cup, will have a chance to take first themselves. Yeah,
this is the kind of final I would have actually predicted. Even in between those two teams, Simplicity and Impact Gaming, like I did say it was going to be a close affair. You know, like you mentioned before, Impact Gaming came out on top eventually from that really dominating phase on Europe's
Can I just bring it back real quick again?
Yeah.
If Simplicity did win the match, would they have played the final?
That's what I said, and I was just like, you know, it's questionable now, isn't it?
They got the remake and everything, whatever.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
Yeah, so, you know, it's cool. You know, they unfortunately did drop out. But yeah, sorry, moving back into the finals.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is going to be another close one. I don't think we'll see something like a 3-0 from what we've seen like previously, like in Europe or anything like that. But with Eanix, it's going to be quite interesting to see how exactly things are going to pan out, because there's always been quite close between these two teams, depending on map picks, but knowing on the game types and how they'll actually play out, Eanix looked actually pretty strong in that last series. You know, even though some of the scores were quite close in that semi-final, it seemed to be a little bit, I would say, quite convincing. Like, they have a lot of strong frag potential, maybe a little bit more better objective play, then they can maybe take this.
Well, I am currently looking at the lobby at the moment, still waiting for players to ready up. Looks like Impact is almost good to go here on the side of Eanix, though. I don't think they expect to be playing just now, but they are being invited to the lobby. They are starting to get the ready up as well. I actually think that this would be a 3-0 to Eanix. I think they just hands down looked like the better team in general when it came to their series. Obviously, sorry, Simplicity is a higher seeded team, or a higher ranked team. They finished second in the last cup. But just Eanix seemed to have no problems with Only Nation. I mean, that was just, it was a very one-sided affair.
Yeah, Only Nation is a good team, but I'm not sure they're as good as Simplicity and Impact Gaming, which is why I'm not too surprised that second semi-final was quite close. But Eanix is like, you know, they've been so strong since the beginning of Season 1, and they've just continued to go forth again and again. But with Impact Gaming, you've got to remember, it's those two players from both of the top teams previously from last season who really are, like, you know, sounds like a silly pun in that, but actually are making a big impact here, because they realise from the offline finals they can do a lot better, and combining like the best fraggers on both those teams, it's really shown a lot of work, and I reckon they can take at least a game off Eanix here.
Well, we'll find out. And I mean, you were correct earlier on in Europe when it came to predictions, so I can't vote against you, but I will vote against you because it's a democracy, and I have my right to vote.
You shouldn't be allowed to vote.
Not even for party?
No, you shouldn't be allowed to vote at all, or predict.
Can I fight for party?
You can, but that means I'll lose then.
Yeah, well, you don't want to party, but you know who does want to party? These two teams to find out who's going to come out the king of the party. It's Eanix up against Impact Gamers to start things off on Farming Complex. A little bit of CP action, as we can already see two of the points going the way of the blue side here for Eanix. They do open things up with a quick 100 points.
Yeah, Goku with a nice double to start things off first. Saw Gentrix at the start of the game. Nice little cheeky spot trying to get some AR work done in that B point, but didn't matter anyway. And that's a 4 at once for Corrupt here. Nice comeback there from the team at Impact Gamer. I didn't expect that at all. There wasn't really many players damaged on Eanix, so there must have been some good support as he was pushing in there. So already some crazy situations now, and it's only been the first minute of the game here.
You see Gentrix goes for the shot. A little bit of RPG action, doesn't give you dropped by Thanos. So that way they have about 80 points is completely gone now, as I start to favor the way of Impact. But this is just more of Eanix just recovering from what just previously happened for the 4 at once that we saw happen with Corrupt. And they are starting to, you know, pull things back. They're looking to take control of C, though Venom's going to quickly stop that. And you can see just every avenue that's actually been shut down here. But finally, J-Master's going to come in and hopefully put a stop to the rot as he's looking to take a point. But it's going to take a lot of time, and he's going to need some backup here, because you just know all of the 8 pairs or 8 eyes 4 pairs of eyes.
4 pairs of eyes. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I love about watching these top NA teams as well. With EU, it's a little bit more strategic based, like, you know, with the tacticians and how well they actually play, like, in certain situations. But with the NA teams, they're just so aggressive, and they love trying to get into these individual battles. And don't get me wrong, there's still a lot of teamwork involved in terms of how they actually push up together. But that's what I love about some of the NA teams here. You know, they have absolutely no fear, full of confidence, feel comfortable in any kind of situation they're in. And if they're strategically as good as some of the EU teams, then they can easily do really well in future Pro Series here. Looking at the scores now, Impact Gaming really doing some damage here. I mentioned before that, you know, 2 of these teams from Season 1 combined to try and make that impact happen here, and they really are making their move. 300 points now, and Eanix, I don't think they've realised what's been going on here.
Getting close to 400 if it continues to go this route. And I'm pretty much sure you can guarantee that they will have it. As you can see now, across that 1,000-point threshold already, only it's 1,200 they need to get to. Maybe I should be wrong. Maybe it wasn't Eanix could take a 3-star. Maybe it's Impact, because the way they're playing is just completely walking over Eanix. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Simplicity is just a team that Impact has struggled with in the past, but this is looking very one-sided. They're going to almost double their points. Yeah,
it's like I mentioned before, Simplicity were a good team. It's just a fact that Only Nation are okay, but it's not.
Okay, well, to be fair, Optimus also has 22 points, and I think he's maybe had some struggles in that game. Yep.
Yeah.
1 kill, 1 assist. Maybe there's a little bit of 4-on-3 action, which is why there was a quick runaway with it.
Yeah, we didn't really hear anything happen, like, you know, I think it was, I don't know if it was towards the end of the game and made us assume that, you know.
I think it wasn't in the end.
Actually, I think he had 1 elimination, 1 assist, didn't he? Yeah. So that might make a bit of sense as to why he actually standing still for a while. But the game didn't end, so we just assumed it was just going to continue on, and that obviously means why they had that huge lead. But we'll find out in a bit anyway, just to make sure. But we're just looking at the stats for the time being there. And of course, with Gentrix, 12 and 8, so 20 frags contributed for Impact Gaming there. He was the one who got 4 at once. Has he got 4 at once twice now, I believe?
Yeah, no,
he did it on Europe Square, and then did it on...
No, that was Corrupt that got the 4 for 1.
Oh, it was Corrupt, right, that makes sense, because Gentrix got it on Europe Square in the last series. Yeah, that's my mistake there. And Goku with contributing to 12 there, going neutral on that KD. So he did have a good start as well, but it was just playing quite default going towards the end.
Well, we saw like Gentrix as well in the last match. Like he had 200 points-ish in the final map, and then he just kind of sat there for a while, didn't continue to grow up. But when it came to like CPs, he's really good at just getting the initial start, getting the momentum going for his team, then hoping the rest of his team can really step up and carry them through. And it looks like they were able to do that here, almost again doubling the points at Eanix. But again, I think Optimus was having some issues on his side, since he only had 1 kill and 1 assist and only 22 points. So it was a little bit of a 4-on-3. We are just going to be waiting for the teams to ready up again as we move over to Military Warehouse, going to some TDM. Yeah. And I don't know. I feel like I was like, wow, you know, Impact's doing really well. Kind of surprised. I didn't catch that Optimus was struggling in the beginning like that. So I still want to say that this could be a match that Eanix can come back from, as long as you know, they can sort their issues.
Yeah, I do find that a bit weird. He only went 1 frag, 1 assist. I think something must have happened there. Like, I could be completely wrong, because Optimus, you know, he can be a very, very passive player, like when he's sitting back with a Liquidator or one of the snipes, but he wasn't using any snipes. He had a scout, so clearly he had the same opinions as everyone else. He's going to go out full aggressive. And for him to be like a really aggressive player and only having 1 assist, that makes no sense. He would have to almost miss every single shot in most of the situations.
So there is, maybe, I think we should say it. Should we say it?
Yeah, go on.
There's a chance that there might be a forfeit in the finals, just to give you guys a heads up here. So if you have an abrupt finish, then you'll know ahead of time, as I'm getting ahead of my words. So Optimus is saying that if he's having problems in the next map, then they're just going to forfeit.
That's understandable.
I mean, yeah, because playing 3v4 is not easy, but at the same time, like, 20 points is a lot of points, 25 points, and it can really determine if you're going to the event or not, as we saw just in the last, it was in the winter series, of teams being 10 points off from qualifying. So we'll see as we do hop into the game.
Yeah, I'm hoping Optimus doesn't get too deflated there, but we'll see what happens going through the course of this map here. So as we say, they're both going to play a little bit stalemated to see exactly what's going on with the situation, see if I can find any info, but they do get mid-control, but Gentrix there with the first frag on the board. Venom gets 1 for himself, and Venom gets a second one there. So good start for Impact Gaming here, and we're going to have to see exactly they're going to hold off the next wave.
54 points to 0. Could we have a perfect game? No, because J Master and Thanos and Goku all really start to get on the board here with a nice triple. So the lead has been cut down quite a bit, as they're going to lose every single player, but they're still going to be ahead by 8 nonetheless. They're all going to get the respawn back in. I'll start to group up here and look for the next... Oh, okay.
It's a bit surprising then, because like you would have thought that some of the members of Eanix would have actually waited for him to push out to get the first shot, but instead it was one of the members of Impact Gaming there. So a bit weird, but nevertheless, Corrupt with a nice snipe kill of his own. And J Master just waiting patiently to sit back to see if he can get any damage done from there. And as you can see, Goku, one of his own. J Master finally does get another snipe kill. Venom gets to trade on Thanos and gets a second one until Optimus manages to take him down.
He's going to be traded out as well, but J Masters eventually get the trade in their favor. And just as I say that, Ariel's the one to turn it back in their favor. Oh, that close quarter combat here, Thanos up against Corrupt. Score difference isn't that much considering how one side's really felt, but Ariel's going to go on a streak now, getting them up by almost 100 here on TDM. They already have 1-0 in the series. Could they potentially pull off a 2-0 lead and be one map away from winning the whole... Oh, look at that. They almost get a clean sweep as well.
Yeah, another double on the board and an insult to injury here. And the 97-point difference now. And Eanix, it's going to have to be a real struggle here. And it's see what they can do, but Impact Gamers still getting the flanks and still getting the kills behind them. They're just being so aggressive here, but at the same time, they're just waiting for the opportunity for those flanks. So they're changing their style up just that little bit to kind of throw Eanix off guard a little bit. But the score does tell the tale here. It's been a real struggle for Eanix. They're trying to do whatever they can to try and make something happen, but they're just struggling to adapt a little bit.
I like the aggressive positions we've been seeing Impact take, just completely catch them off guard. They come around a corner right into a shotgun, and they always just seem to be at the right place at the right time. I guess it comes from the early start they did have of just gaining, positional control around this map. You can see now Eanix able to get the full respawn back through, looking for some shots here. I think Optimus is going to take a lot of the brunt of the damage, but eventually a frag will be traded out on. And eventually they will get the lead in the trade, but is it too late? They're still down by about 100 points.
It's not too bad now. Thanos does get 2 of his own. Goku also gets a double. So managed to make a little bit of a comeback now, but we need to be careful. We need to make sure to get these first shots. Be a little bit cautious on any flanks which could happen here. Try and get the info quickly until something like that happens, but it doesn't matter anyway. Ariel and Gentrix managed to get one apiece. Optimus managed to get one of his own as well. J Master managed to clean up another one until Gentrix managed to get the other 2. So that's 4 down now for Eanix, and Impact Gaming in a very good spot and could be suffocating them and putting a lot of pressure on the team of Eanix and take this game 2.
Yeah, this might be it right here. 88 or 488. Like 1/4 kill could finish this off here, and there it is. That's gonna be Venom closing out, and that's gonna be Impact now up 2-0 here in this finals of our second Cup of North America for the spring season. You see Ariel at 10, you see Venom at 10. On the other side, pretty even split between all the players.
Yeah, no weaklings, no one going out too strong, in all fairness. It's, pretty level, pretty standard, nothing too major to talk about there. It's just a massive score gap you saw between those two teams. They just took advantage of every exploit they had, and there's a bit of a struggle, really. They were trying to stick together, but at the same time, the coordination from Impact Gaming was just seemed to be a bit too much.
Yeah, and we're obviously seeing what's going to be going on here for a third map. It would be Wild West Saloon. I know there's not like a massive track record between the two teams when it comes to this map, but do you have any insights into it and which way you expect it to go?
At this stage, it looked like it could be a 3-0. Last time I said that it was 3-1, so I'm kind of glad I said that because it means my prediction was right on that last EU final. But at this point in time,
2-2?
Oh, I don't know. Like Impact Gaming, it just seemed way too strong. I feel like Optimus is, I'm not really too sure what actually has happened to him in terms of his playing style. Maybe something's happened to him at home on his phone, but so far it's kind of affected his mentality. But when something happens like that to one player, it can affect the whole team's mentality. It can be quite demoralizing.
Of course, especially if that player gets really frustrated and vocally frustrated, because then the negativity kind of runs to the team, and obviously the team's not happy that the fact that one player is having problems, so they're playing 3v4, and it's just it could be a major downward spiral.
Yeah, I think after that first map, they kind of assumed they've lost the series. Well, when we saw the comments earlier, you kind of got, it's like you said, you kind of got that vibe about it. But, they could definitely do the reverse sweep. It's not like it's something we've not seen before. We've seen it quite a few times at live shows and at finals as well. So it wouldn't be the first time, but it could be a little bit of a big ask, a bit of a tall order.
Well, we'll be heading to the next map, and potentially our final map of the night. Looks like everything is good on the side here of Eanix. So we're going to drop into the Wild West Saloon and see who's going to come out last man standing as the tumbleweed has started to roll, and so have the players.
That is right. My goodness. But anyways, look at these two teams. This is one map I'm quite curious to see how they both play, because they're both so aggressive. I want to see the outcome of some of these situations. But already, as you can see there, Impact Gaming did come out of the upper hand at the start, but Eanix managed to get the trade, but it seems that Impact Gaming managed to get the better end of the deal. They're trying to keep him at the hill. Yeah, it's typical, isn't it? But it's still fine from the hill. Finally, the hill gets grabbed. A double from Goku, a triple in the end. He's trying to look for the fourth. Won't be the case. Venom does manage to finally take him down. But it's possible that the damage could be done here, depending on if they get this hill back.
I'll tell you, the Vulture's bellies will be full tonight here with the amount of dead carcasses around the point. Boy, that was okay.
It was good. Maybe I'm just too tired to laugh now.
I mean, my jokes aren't that funny, so
at least you're
not wanting to laugh at all.
Well, at least you're not like me and laugh at your own jokes. So.
Oh no, of course I do.
What, you laugh at your own jokes?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay.
So I have to show people how funny they are by laughing at them.
Oh dear, well that's 2 down, I think it's 3 down now again, and it's not looking too good here. But Eanix are still in a good spot. They've still got a decent lead, but this is Impact Gaming's opportunity now to get that hill back. Trying to keep him back. I don't know how Errol got away with that, but Optimus managed to get the trade-off there. But still, the hill's still being contested here as Gentrix managed to get 1, managed to get 2 in the end. Crab gets 1 of his own. And looking not too bad for Impact Gaming now. Managed to make that comeback which they desperately needed since the start of this map.
Yeah, and both things already up 2-0, and if they continue to go this kind of pace here, it might be up, and they might just finish off the map here as the Tumbleweed's going to come to a close. That makes no sense. 487 to 504 now, up to 470. The point being turned towards the blue side, but you can just see constant explosions just back and forth between the two teams. Gentrix able to help finish off that one to maintain the point and get it back in their hands. So you can see Grenade coming through as well, and J Master going to drop in from the ceiling, from the sky, like a ninja in the Wild West, which I don't know if they had ninjas unless you watch that one Jackie Chan and Wilson movie. But anyways.
Yeah, it does seem quite weird. I feel sorry for the person observing this match because it's so hectic. This is one of the... Oh, okay. Okay, well, I'll feel sorry.
I see that bucket of food next to him.
Gentrix here with a double. That's 4 down now for Eanix, and it's not looking too good here. This map has been so messy from the start. Things are starting to slowly stabilize a little bit more, but as I said, that Goku gets a double. Karat managed to finally get that trade, snipes him down, but Thanos is taking him down as well. This is Eanix's opportunity now to hold that hill, try and hold them back as much as they can, but Impact Gaming are just not letting go. They're doing everything they can to get every kind of possible flank on, but Eanix now, they've gone up on mid control. They're trying to sit back, trying to get their first shot in, which is working a little bit for them as they try and continue to catch up on that point deficit.
Oh, Goku, okay. Goku and Optimus pretty much working 2v4 there, able to maintain the point and close this lead. You can see it going back towards the blue side, and this hill started to turn into a mountain, and it seems like Impact have finally got the horsepower they need to climb up it. It's 937, they're just a couple points away from closing this out. Now 970, and we might see a new victor here like we saw in Europe, and that's going to be it. Impact Gaming will take the 3-0, and now in EU and NA, we're going to have 2 cups with different first place finishes. So everything is open now as you make our way through into next week.
Gentrix straight away from that scoreboard, 14 frags and 10 assists, 24 frag contribution, 294 points as well. He was doing absolutely everything he possibly could, and I'm surprised he managed to get that many frags on the board because it was such a messy situation. There wasn't really too much AR work going on, just everyone just going at each other with the Avalanche, just relying on their gun skill. And the Impact Gaming just going ahead of it. And as you can see from the stats there, from what I mentioned, Gentrix, a huge amount of frag potential there. And Goku not really too far behind, as you can see from those KD8s.
I think I might head over to his YouTube channel if he has one.
I think I might have to,
learn a couple things here or there from him. I mean, that's a fantastic scoreline. Again, considering they were behind for a majority of the game, then came back towards the later halves, towards like the last, I'd say a third of it, able to take the lead and take a decent lead on top of that, even though it finished off by about like 100 to 200 points. You can see again the weapons they were using from both these sides. A little bit of a switch up here with Thanos, going a little bit out of the ordinary.
Yeah, it fancies a little bit of a change there. To be fair, the machine guns don't really get used that much anyway. Everyone just uses what they feel like, really. It's normally the snipes, the ARs, and the shotguns, which are the most important, which we'll see in a second, because I'm curious to see what happened, because I assume everyone just went out with the Avalanche. I know Gentrix loves the Porcupine. I don't know if he used it again on this map, but I'll place a bet. I reckon he used the Porcupine. I didn't actually see, but okay. And then every single person was using the Odin there anyway. A little bit of a surprise considering how open that map is, and because we've seen some teams, like especially on the EU side, you'll see a couple of players use the Incinerator instead. So that's a bit of an interesting one. And with the shotguns, that's the one I'm a bit curious about, because Gentrix seems to be the only one who actually used that Porcupine compared to the rest of the team. So I'll be curious to see what he was actually using.
Well, you know what? We're going to find out.
I know, it's going to be... You're excited, aren't you?
I'm so excited to find out. I want to see your reaction to it.
What, to see if I'm right or wrong?
No, just to see if you're happy or sad. Preferably the sad part.
I'll probably be sad, because I'll probably find out the one time... Okay, there you go, he did use it. I mean, they all used it as well in this time round. It just shows that they were more focused on going for the up-close aggressive fights.
I'm going to say it just shows that I'm right.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that.
I'm a humble person, it's fine.
I'm the most humble person that you know.
Yeah, I'll try.
Probably the most humble person in the world.
Who, you?
No, you.
Oh, cheers, mate. Is that a compliment?
No, not even. I'm comparing you to someone that no one wants to be compared to.
Yeah.
But that's going to be it. I actually, Impact Gaming, we have the standings in a few moments here, but they have not been able to take first place. However, they've been able to sneak by and go up the rankings quite a bit here. As you can see, a 3-0, and had a nice little 2-1 against Simplicity right before that.
That's right. It's a very close series between Simplicity. Commiserations to Eanix. They had a little bit of a bad start. It kind of continued throughout the rest of the series here. Noli Nation, due to the situation with Simplicity, take that as a default win 3-0. So the table will be a quite interesting one now for the NA side.
It's not as big of a difference, though, I would imagine, comparing to Europe, where we have like 75 points between second and third place. I would imagine second and third place is going to be a lot closer, especially since the team who got second from last week got fourth this week, since they did forfeit in their third place match. Could have been a little bit different if they were able to play in that one. Maybe could have kept things a little bit tighter. But either way, I mean, we had some great games in Europe. We had some great games in North America, but that's pretty much going to just round out the entire show here. I mean, obviously, we do want to end with some standings just to see how things have laid out here. But we're 2 weeks in. We still have quite a few more weeks to go. And I think we have a little bit of a hiatus coming into 2 weeks' time, because we're going to be heading over to the U.S., to North America, to bring you some action from some of the best teams in the world. 6 teams going to be participating in that for their chunk of the prize money. Can we compete for their chunk of the prize money? That'd be nice.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
I think it's more reliable, though, to get paid to work there than to get paid to play, because we'd probably get
We wouldn't
smashed.
get anything. Yeah. They'll absolutely batter. So, well, I'll admit that, you know. It's one of those things, isn't it?
You know, you, me, and the other 2 talent put a team together, play one of the teams.
But just to see like what the outcome
If
is.
we win, we get their prize earnings. If they win, they get our earnings.
I would definitely do that.
I wouldn't. You kidding me?
Oh,
We're going to lose, and then we get nothing.
you don't know that.
I'm on the team. We're going to lose. We're going to get nothing. And then that one guy from
He's
the
got a lot
US
of
is gonna be on the
self-confidence in
team.
him.
That one guy from the US, that's going to be joining us.
Actually, yeah,
likely.
we'll lose then. Yeah, 100%.
And since when have Brits ever played well together on a team in any esport?
Probably never.
Yeah, so that's...
You had to make me say it, didn't you?
Yeah, of course. The only thing as a one of esports-wise of significance is usually like single-player games.
What kind of like campaigns?
No, like fighting games.
Yeah, we're all right at fighting
FIFA?
games. Yeah, we're all right at FIFA. Yeah.
So here you see, Eanix, 175 points, Impact 150, Simplicity 115, and Only Nation 90. So there is a little bit of a gap, albeit 35 points, but it's not quite like the 75, again, that we have in Europe.
Yeah, Simplicity are actually a team I reckon could break through that top 2 if they have a few more consistent results over the next couple of cuts. But
Don't forfeit
now,
games either as well, because they would actually be 20 points up higher than that, right?
Yeah,
They'd be
something
only
like that.
15 behind Impact.
Yeah, so I'm quite surprised they managed to, for some reason, give that up. Maybe they didn't realise how close they could have actually been. But for both these regions now that it's going to be Cup number 3 next week, that means that all the seeding point-wise should have stabilised, so all the good teams will probably end up matching each other in the quarters onwards unless something happens beforehand, like an upset.
It seemed like it worked that way anyways here with Cup 2. It's more of Europe that's been having some problems with that, with like Noble, for instance, who got knocked out first in the Cup, the first Cup from last week. But ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have to do a send-off for the show here. If you enjoyed, obviously make sure to tune in to the next show, which will be at the same time here at the same place, kicking off with EU, and EU only if I'm not mistaken. Unfortunately, I've tickled him too many times, as my man to my left, you're right on the screen, will not be joining us, Lethal.
I'm sorry.
I'm going to miss you
I'll
very
miss you
much.
too, but it's only a couple of weeks
I'm
away.
being sincere, but...
You're actually being nice.
I was being sincere. I'm going to miss you.
Oh, I'll miss you too, mate.
No, you're lying.
Yeah, I am.
All right, we know what we're not lying about. We'll be back next week. We have to do... you know what? I already messed up the end of the show. Let's just cut it. We're done. We'll see you guys next time.